set the bar very low. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the low bar stream. These idiots allowed a team. Only one thing we can guarantee: this song for loser show is free. Always free. Always free. Our host is named Blue Collar. He's simple and not complex. Try not to laugh when he cries, like all the women do during sex. They all laugh at him. The other guy thinks he's cool, but he sounds like a giant tool. He calls himself the Toxic Lord. He'll ramble on and make you bored. He rambles the fuck on. Welcome to the Low Bar Show. They have no knowledge to bestow. We hope that you can stay away, 'cause this stream is probably a mistake. Welcome to the Low Bar Show. Woo! Whoa, to the Low Bar Show.
You think that's what I am?
I think you like to be told what to do. Sorry, I didn't.
I like her old videos.
What was the deal with that clip? It was like really just like you didn't even finish the sentence. Like what was the
Well, yeah,
deal?
because you know the whole like trying 6.1 seconds because you showed too much. Remember for Die Hard, dude, they hit a 4-second clip from Die Hard. I got nailed with like you've been hit with copyright.
Yeah, they've been on one lately. It's been
Yeah.
How are you, my friend? Happy New Year.
Oh
Happy
yeah.
New Year to
So
you.
I'm gonna plug this now. So Regal, thank you, but Lord Toxic, for 2025, they're no longer doing the Regal refillable cups. What they're doing is
What?
but it's kind of even out. What they're gonna do is you just buy a pass for the year, and like basically all concessions are half off if you buy the pass. So instead of buying like one of these, so this is the last time I can refill this for free.
Oh, that's sad. I went to Regal tonight as well. I went and I did get the refillable popcorn.
Let's say so. Yeah, so they'll have this, but this will be half off for like the entire year instead of just buying
That's
it.
such a waste. That's such a waste. That's why I never pay for it. I just when they start collecting them, I just grab one off the cart when they collect it, and I just wipe it out with a paper towel, and I just ask them to refill it.
You know, it's always been funny where every time we talk about these low bars, I never we usually don't plan them, and because I was shocked, like, hey, do you think about maybe doing something on Christmas Eve? And of all the films, this didn't like just catch me a film you go watch.
It wasn't. You know, I didn't want to at first, and I think you mean New Year's Eve. I didn't want to at first, and then I saw a couple things on TikTok about it, and I was intrigued with that. So I just was like, you know what? Let's see what's going on here.
And as usual, have you seen any like I honestly I think I heard about this movie months ago, but I just rewatched the trailer today and I just between Sonic and Nosferatu and Mufasa. Have you seen any promotions for this fucking movie?
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, on TikTok, it's got a bunch of funny TikTok videos of chicks you know, going, oh, this seat is ruined. This seat is ruined. Oh, this seat is also ruined. You know, I don't know where that soundbite comes from, but yeah, there's a bunch of chicks doing that because, you know, this is the new what is it, 50 Shades of Grey or whatever. So this
I guess so, yeah. Well, this was made by A24. Hey, so hey, next course you're in here, and to our buddy Tyler, Happy New Year. Christmas was so 2024. Oh, really? It's 1 a.m. and his other he's in the future, dude.
You are in the future. What is the future like, Nix?
I know you're talking to us from, say, I mean, we're back in 2024. He's in 2025, so that's pretty awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, so as we always do, we'll talk about it for a little while, give our ratings and our final thoughts about it. But I just after watching the trailer, I'm like, okay, A24 definitely has his style. But overall, would you I guess agree that A24 has been putting out some pretty consistent good movies?
I said this on Lance's stream the other night, if because they were saying that there's no real movie stars, there's no real companies, there's no real nothing's going to come out, and then I don't know if it was Enzo that said it or if it was Lance himself or maybe even Inside Man, but somebody was like, there's nobody that's going to come out and just say we have a film, so I'm just going to go see it. I disagree. If A24 comes out with something, 9 times out of 10, I will at least be you will pique my interest. If there's no other studio that can come up with something where I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go see that new Touchstone film or that new, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to go see that new Fox Searchlight film. But if A24 comes out with something, I will highly consider it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been making some pretty, I mean, whether they're good or bad, at least they have new interesting ideas because everyone bitches about, sequelitis and prequelitis and requels and blah, blah. A24, I mean, yes, the premise here has been used before, but as an IP, they keep pumping out new original ideas. So I give them that much for just something. Hey, I mean, it's called Babygirl. But I guess maybe you could elaborate more than me that
Sure.
how would we tell the audience, anybody, like what is the premise of this film? The ideas have been done before, but what the hell is the summary of the plot of Babygirl?
Sure. So for the uninitiated, Babygirl is the story of Nicole Kidman's character, Romy, who is a high-powered business executive. She's creeping around 60, and she's kind of getting to the point where a lot of business executives are at that age. Now she's managed to sneak in the husband and children, so she's got that part covered as well. But like a lot of, formerly very attractive business exec types, she's kind of shut off and she's kind of neutered in a lot of ways. And she's not happy and she's not fulfilled, even though she has what a lot of us, she has the big house, they have the cottage out in the woods. The husband he's in the arts. He does very well. They have 2 precocious daughters. And of course, one of them's gay because of course she is. And, but she's just kind of bored and unsatisfied. And here comes Samuel. Here comes Samuel, a young hot intern with tattoos, who kind of just, manipulates her and turns her into they have a kind of this is called like a brat fetish, where you have like the daddy dom thing where he's daddy and she's the baby girl, and she's going to do what he tells her to do. And this is something that's a big turn on for women who are in powerful jobs and situations. They like to be dominated in such a way. I mean, really, if we're being honest, all women like to be dominated, but that's a story for another time. But in this case, having to do with the movie, and they kind of go on this roller coaster ride of sex and dominance and power struggles. I mean, that you would seemingly be that Romy would have the power, the fact that she's the high powered business executive with all the money and all the resources, and Samuel would be the on the lower end of the power scale, but he manages to kind of flip that on its head. And they have a kind of meet cute out in the streets where she sees him basically domineer a dog who's attacking people because it went off its leash.
Goddamn dog.
And that gets her panties wet. And then soon after that, they have a couple meetings, and what happens is he smells it on her. It's like, I mean, not that you need to, and somebody at his age probably wouldn't have been able to figure that out, but we'll get to that. But that's the basic premise of the movie, the affair going, full boogie, and
thank God. Well, she's for free. Well, I didn't want to see this kind of drivel. Most people's lives have enough drama already because it's a movie, buddy. Enough drama already. Yeah, really. Well, because it's an A24 film and Nicole Kidman's at that point where definitely an attractive woman. But A24, you know what, the actors and actresses, they have no problem getting into sex scenes, and the film starts off
Yeah.
with her. And again, too, Antonio Banderas, look at his age, the guy just looks fucking fantastic. He just is just such a natural, good looking dude. It's
Hmm.
kind of pissing me off. Like he's
Interesting that you say that because I was watching it and thinking of the young Antonio Banderas from the '90s that I remember, and
yeah.
I was like, I was kind of feeling depressed. I'm like, man, he's looking rough.
I mean, well, he's 65. For a guy who's 65, he's got the
Yeah,
gray hair. But
yeah.
yeah, these two are having, I guess, they've been married for 20 years and are doing the rounds of having sexy time. But hey, boy, I know you say that Chuck Norris can simply walk into Mordor,
Thank you, RR.
and
Go ahead.
then there'd be no movie then. But yes, so the opening is, it's a spoilers, guys. Opening, they're having sex, and she's not satisfied, to say the least, and she has no problem crawling out of bed and going to her own bedroom and her own room, and she opens up a laptop and she's watching basically, dominatrix porn, where the woman's being, talked down upon and ravished and shit, and you're seeing Nicole Kidman very vigorously taking care of herself, and I'm like, all right, this is the first 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. This movie definitely knows what it is and
Hmm.
lets you know what it is within the first 5-10 minutes of the film, for
I,
sure.
I can't help but wonder, man. It's like, would she have done this 20, 30 years ago? Or is she at the point where I'm kind of like almost washed up? I have to do these edgy shit to make myself relevant.
I wouldn't think so because
Really?
she's kind of known to do this. She got her
Okay.
big break in Dead Calm, where she basically has sex with this guy that's, I mean, basically kidnapped her
Yeah.
when she was very young. Sam Neill being the husband, and then what's his face from Titanic is, basically, well, thinking he's killed the husband, and then
Yeah.
kidnapped her, and she has sex with him so that he believes she's on her side. And then later,
Yeah.
she's done some stuff like, of course, she's done Moulin Rouge, but she's also done Big Little Lies, where she has the husband and her are in this abusive relationship that always leads
Yeah.
to sex when they're done. So
I mean, look, Antonio Banderas, he's so much man, she can't handle that much man. That's the problem. Or RTNZ.
I don't know. Antonio Banderas is looking like a week old goat in this film. I'm not
Uh,
going to lie to
yeah.
you.
I mean, so he's definitely naturally, I'd say, good looking. But yeah. So it's just like, I guess I mean, it's not a cliche in a sense, but it's like what would you say? It's like the premise we've been here 1,000 times, where just she's in a marriage, but he's a very good father. He loves her, he's affectionate, but like he just isn't doing it for her, and she's just I wouldn't say she's a bored housewife, because she's a CEO and she's very
Right.
powerful. And one thing I did like about the plot is, what was her position? She is a CEO of a new company, and people, like we said, dude, it's 2025 coming up. Like it or not, guys, stuff like Tesla and self-driving and drones and robots, they're not going anywhere. And her company is tackling, like, trying to get more less workers, more robots into factories, into warehouses and stuff. So
Yeah.
she's very intelligent. She graduated Harvard or something with a super PhD, and she became the CEO of her company. But like I said, she's in her 60 now. We'll say 60. And I guess, like,
She's creeping up on 60. She was
yeah.
born, she's 10 years older than me, so she's creeping up on 60.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I wouldn't say, like I said, she's not a bored housewife, but like, what is she just like bored with her life in general? Is that
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing. So, the premise is, it's pretty simple. I mean, if you've seen movies like Richard Gere and Diane Lane and Unfaithful, pretty similar to that. What happens is, when however you started with a woman, if things
Mhm.
become stable and comfortable and happy, women will only tolerate that for so long before they're going to go catch some other dick. And it's hinted at that she's been doing this. This daddy domineering thing may be new to her, but her stepping out on him is not new. And that's something that, is kind of, near the end of the film, we kind of get a glimpse of that. It's a little more show don't tell type situation. You want to pull up that slide real quick before
Wait, which slide is it? I'm sorry.
it's in the green. It's in the underneath. Pull it up.
Oh, I was checking the slides, buddy. Hey, Richard, always thanks, dude. Chuck Norris could cast the One Ring into the fires of Mount Doom while he's still standing in the Shire.
Thank you, RR. That's very topical. That's very topical. But yeah, it's one of those things. Well, before I go too far, pull up that slide I just hit you with real quick underneath.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see yours. There we go.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Yours. Spoiler warning? Is that yours?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we're gonna spoil a little bit. So
Yeah.
it's established by the end of the film that she's been cheating on the husband a lot. now she's been cheating on the husband, maybe with other guys that aren't really fulfilling her either. She's doing it as far as business or whatever. But that being said, this situation that she's got with the daddy dom baby girl thing is definitely new to her. And it would be new to her because she wouldn't know to do that. Because she is a high powered exec, whatever else she is. So up to this point, she's probably always like slept her way to the top, as women do in these situations.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So you're asking me, what's going on? Well, she has a happy relationship with Antonio Banderas. They have a good relationship with their kids. They have a lot of money. They're very comfortable. When you get in those situations with a woman, she's gonna start causing problems because women crave chaos. Young women, 30-something-year-old women, middle-aged women, and older past a certain prime, hitting the wall women are going to do that. They're going to do that because it's ingrained in their DNA to do that. They don't know any other way. So that being said, that's what starts to happen. And God bless him, the husband just doesn't see it as most men don't. He assumes that since they're happy and they've been having sex, that things are going good. His job is going good. Her job is going good. It's not a situation where, he's got to. In fact, if it wasn't, and there was a gambling problem or he was cheating on her or something like that, probably she wouldn't be looking to stray or whatever. But this young kid smells this on her right away. And, he kind of starts, right off the bat, giving her exactly what it is she wants, which is to be dominated, manipulated, treated like shit, and then, fucked correctly. So,
pull us up. Thanks, Richard. I love you, man. If Chuck Norris put on the One Ring, then Sauron and all of Mordor would throw themselves into the fires of Mount Doom.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you.
I mean, yeah. What's good that we talk about like Lord of the Rings? It's
it's very topical.
After how bad War of the friggin' Rohirrim was, but so she's one thing I can't help but say, because fuck, we're here, man. Like our friend Enzo said this before, which is kind of funny, that good looking people, like when they get plastic surgery, it's unnecessary. You can tell as they age, and like ugly people get plastic surgery early, so it's not that noticeable. And definitely Nicole Kidman, it's becoming like as she's aging, a woman pushing 60, boy, certain shots and certain times she's talking, I definitely see the work that's been done. And just the way she smiles or she doesn't smile, and the way she emotes sometimes and has trouble emoting. Like, and even, I thought it was kind of funny. One point she's getting some Botox and everyone's noticing the big, the bruises on her cheeks. And like, even her kids are noticing it, but it's just, it's so obvious. Like man, I hate to see Nicole Kidman. Like, I wonder what she would look like naturally. Cause she's always been a naturally
terrible. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because listen, if you're a ginger, if you're light skinned white chick, don't smoke. It's going to take a toll on you. She's been smoking for like 30 something years.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm glad they showed it in this film too. I'm also glad that they showed her little beauty regimen. She's going in the Sono, ice packing thing that cleanses your body and hits you with the freeze thing to kind of keep it. But even all the stuff that she's doing, she looks way past her age. I mean, she is a handsome woman for sure. But she's way past her prime. I mean, pull up Dead Calm, pull up Far and Away from 1992, where she was at the peak of her beauty. Pull those movies up, and really you'll see what's she's withered herself down, and it's because she's a smoker. It's because she's a smoker and she drinks and stuff like that. So, and she and then they acknowledge it in the film, like she knows that these are problems that she has. So, if you're a young white woman, don't smoke and don't go too heavy with the alcohol, because you're gonna look like shit when you get into your later years.
Not the best picture I could find, but it's a big difference in what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, she had a little baby fat on her back in the day, and even just 6 or 7 years ago when she did Big Little Lies, she was a lot more attractive. And and that's not me just dunking on her. It's just the solid truth, and it speaks to that in the story too, because she does look young, and the guy, you come to find out he's banging other chicks because what he wants her for is not the same thing as what she wants him for.
Yeah.
And then there's that crazy scene of her being jealous at her daughter's party and losing her shit. and risking everything because she's so fucking jealous of him
Yeah.
banging one of her subordinates. She can't stand it.
Yeah.
You know.
I would say, I mean, other than that, I mean, that's not really, there's not much more in terms of the plot to talk about. It's kind of the entire film in a sense. I mean, other than that, I mean, it's like, what was it? She at some point starts feeling guilty about banging this kid, and like, she keeps saying, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to basically fall in love with
I
me
don't think
because
she does. I'm
uh,
gonna disagree with you there. I don't believe she ever feels guilty. I think
okay.
she is worried at some point that he may decide to, take everything away from her
Yeah.
by, outing her. I think she's concerned about that, especially when he
Yeah.
starts doing creepy shit like showing up at her fucking house and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, the basic, I guess the premise would be like after
Mm.
like kind of because it's a 2 hour film. After the first hour, like they start sleeping together, and like, okay, what's the point of this? Obviously, she's not going to get divorced from her husband and mess up her marriage and be with this guy. So she's telling him like, hey, this is just kind of a fling. It's not going to last. And she's like, I don't want to hurt you. I care about you. And he's kind of like, well, I don't really care about you as well. I just want this to be a fling. But I think like I was wondering where this would go because usually in these type of like movies, I'm waiting for the whole like him to show up and maybe the husband beat him to death or something. But
Yeah,
he shows up at her house, and I'm like, now of course now she's pissed off. Like like what was it the term? You don't shit where you eat.
yeah, yeah.
And so he
She,
shows up at the
yeah,
house.
it definitely does a little bit different from the genre. Like he doesn't become obsessed with her, and she really becomes obsessed with him, and to the
Yeah.
point where there's a great scene where she shows up at his side job, his bar job,
Mm.
and he has the manager escort her out. And it's
Yeah.
so great. It's so good, man. I love it. And of course, a situation like that just makes her want him even more.
Yeah.
But like I think part of the attractiveness of this for her is the fact that she not only does she want to be dominated, she wants to put the things that she has at risk. I think that's part of the attraction for her. She likes to risk the lifestyle, the job, all that. I think she wants to put that at risk because that's part of her kink. So yeah, and that's basically what she does. She does put everything at risk. The subordinate of hers, her protege,
Mm.
who is also sleeping with this kid, basically outs her for it and just was like,
Yeah.
hey, don't make me have to destroy you in order
Mm.
to get the things that I want. And she actually kind of takes it easy on her a little bit, comparatively speaking. But
Um,
yeah,
I would say some of I mean, the sex scenes are definitely there's one scene in particular, well, I mean, we're getting into it because they're sleeping together, but he's doing something to her that her husband doesn't do and involves like her basically laying on her stomach and him taking care of her with his fingers. And
yeah.
her, like I said, basically she doesn't really get well, she does like it's quick topless scenes, but you do get to see the opening her bare white ass. And I mean, I guess how you feel about Nicole Kidman pushing 60s, still doing sex scenes? Does
She
she got
looks terrible. She looks horrible.
all right?
Someone's lying to you, Nicole. Don't do this. Your legs look horrible. Like you look good in these kind of promotional pictures and stuff like that,
Yeah,
where you're all coiffed and covered up. But when you see her milky white cottage cheese, like the legs, like she looks bad. If you're
almost
expecting to see like
like right
J
there, right?
Lo,
Like that's not, yeah.
no, that's gross by itself. But like the stuff that's in the movie is even worse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I was just surprised, that, her said the sex scenes, they're not like graphic in a sense, like they're not, this isn't, we're not watching Pornhub, but yeah, she shows a lot more than I was expecting.
Yeah,
It to be.
it's about at the level that if you saw Big Little Lies, the HBO show she was in, if you saw that, the sex stuff it's about on that level
Yeah.
of
Mm,
of graphicness and things like that. So it's
yeah.
yeah, she just looks so bad. Like
Yeah.
she is not.
Um,
I will never date an older chick. I've dated chicks my age once or twice,
mhm,
but I would never date. And the couple chicks I dated that were my age were just banging. But yeah, older women are not where it's at. Like that, that's a lost cause. So yeah,
hmm.
trade them in, get something younger, and you know. Now, I mean,
Um,
if I was her kept man, and like like she was like paying for me to like live in the guest house and just work on my books and stuff, and I didn't have to pay for anything, and I just had to give her a quick bop every now and then. Then I would totally do it. But as far as her being so desired, this is like the old middle aged white woman fantasy right here.
yeah, I
That
just like,
Every chick wants to believe that they're going to be this age and they're going to have this hot little alpha dude, railing them from the back. Like it's not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen. Guys are not, and the only I'm glad it addresses it too, because the only reason he is into it is because he gets to dominate her. And she is powerful. That's his kink. That's what he likes it for. And she kind of can't accept that. She doesn't understand. She wants to kind of turn it into a relationship that she can control. And the only thing that he likes is that it's out of control. So
yeah. I mean, plot wise, there's not much more we can really discuss about it. I guess I mean, at this point, guys, should we say because spoilers about the ending? Because it's like the ending, I wasn't sure. Yeah, because I mean, let's see. I'm trying to pull up a spoiler picture. Actually, I'm right here. Yeah, it's new with these new this new friggin' StreamYard here. Present.
Do you need a spoiler slide?
I got one here opened up. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like I said, StreamYard. The way it's doing stuff now, it's gonna piss me off. But yeah. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, not much more to talk about. So we'll just say spoilers. Here we go. Because I mean, eventually, so spoilers. The last, I guess, half hour of the film, eventually her husband, Antonio Banderas, he does find out, and his reaction, I think, is pretty
well, let's be clear. Let's be clear, blue collar. She gets cornered, the relationship is over, then she decides to tell on herself, but she doesn't tell the truth. She gives him like a bunch of half truths. With what she tells him, and then after that, she fucks the dude again when he shows up at her I guess cottage that they have out in the woods or whatever.
Yep.
And the husband shows up there and has this really ineffectual confrontation between her and the kid and stuff like that.
See, I was wondering what kind of direction this film was going to go into. Like maybe the husband, Antonio Banderas, would show up and have a brick or something, or have a gun and just blast the kid away, or maybe they get into a scuffle and the kid would beat him to death or something.
Yeah,
and he kind of get into this really awkward. I mean, did you find part of me is like, I guess because Antonio Banderas is 65, he's not playing a big combat warrior dude. Like it just felt like a really awkward fight scene. It was strange.
It was the kind of fight scene that happens between a young guy and an older guy when neither one of them know how to fight.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of confrontation, and it was a little jarring for me because I recently just watched him in a much better movie called Cult Killer, where he plays a private investigator, and he's still the same badass that he always was. And if you have a chance to see that, check out Cult Killer. Where he plays a private eye over in Ireland, and it's really good. I think it's available on Hulu right now. I may wind up doing a review on it, but anyway, that aside, it's one of those. It's that kind of fight between two guys who've never really been in a fight before. They both get a couple licks in, and then Antonio Banderas, overwhelmed by the situation, sort of has a panic attack. She goes into a depression.
Yep.
It's not clearly stated, but her protege sort of takes over the business somewhat in her absence, and then the kid takes off to apparently Japan.
Yeah, she has this girl here, so this girl's working for her, and she's like, "Yeah, gonna find a picture." It's hard to She basically says that I know because she's dating him as well, and like I know what you've been doing with him, and there's in a sense blackmailing her, like If this gets out, we tell everybody about what you've been doing, you're going to lose everything because you're in a position of power and you're the CEO of a company. You can't be fucking an intern. But she says to her, she's like, I don't want to take over. Like, I want to get what's earned to me. And you were a good figurehead, and you're basically like, now you're a figurehead, and we got you by the balls. And as you said, he eventually he goes to Tokyo or something. He transfers out, and then at the end, Antonio Banderas, they make up, and now he's like, now he's doing all the kinky shit that the fling was doing.
Well,
right. I mean,
he's doing some of it anyway. Yeah. So enough where she can get off. So I mean, whatever at one point in the film, she does tell her husband, she's like, in the whole time we've been married to 20 years, I've never came once and had an orgasm by you. And eventually, I guess that's the plot of the film. At the end, he finally gets her off. That's the whole point, maybe. I don't know. I don't know either, honestly.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much it, guys. There's not much more to talk about. It's not a complicated fucking movie. I'm trying to milk it for a half hour, West, but we can't talk about much more. There's not
I
much
will
going
say
on.
this: the performances are all very good, from
Yes.
Antonio Banderas to Nicole Kidman to the kid that plays the young kid Samuel to the black female that plays her protege.
Yeah.
Everybody's firing on all cylinders, and everybody does a really good job. Especially Kidman, who I don't know if it's special effects. I'm gonna like to believe that it's not special effects, but there's two different scenes. So there's a thing that happens when you get extremely upset and cornered where your pupils will dilate.
Yeah.
And when she gets cornered by the protege, her pupils get huge. Now, I don't know if that's a special effect. I'm
Mm,
gonna have to look into that and answer that. But if she
yeah.
managed to do that with her acting ability,
Oh,
then that is freaking splendid. And then there's a scene later where a guy that she had been sleeping with,
mm,
uh, who is her boss, who basically is trying to blackmail her because now everybody in the office knows that she was fucking around.
yeah.
He's basically trying to blackmail her into sleeping with it, and she just puts him back in his place, and
Yeah.
her pupils narrow. Now, I
Yeah.
don't know if this is like special effects they were able to do, or if this is something that Nicole Kidman, the actress, can pull
Yeah.
off on her own. I'm gonna want to believe that she did it herself, but
Okay.
regardless, it's a great effect. It looks
Yeah.
really cool. The camera loves Nicole Kidman. I may not love Nicole Kidman,
Yeah.
but the
I
camera
agree.
in this movie loves Nicole Kidman. They have a lot of close-ups of her kind of icy demeanor face.
Yeah.
She plays it very well. I'm just coming off of if anyone's watched my
Right
best
there.
of 2024, she's in a
Like,
TV show called The Lioness Special Ops, and she's very good in that. She basically plays the same character here, except in this one she's getting fucked, as opposed to like running a special ops team. But basically, it's almost the exact same character. Now, whether or not that's because Nicole Kidman has so much Botox in her face, so now like I mean, I'm glad they acknowledge it in the film, but
yeah.
let's call it what it is. Nicole Kidman's definitely getting Botox and work done. And again, women, young women, I know you're not watching this channel. Stay away from cigarettes.
Nick's pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, she plays Nicole Kidman
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
But
All
yeah,
right.
it's intriguing, and it's one thing I'll also say. Even though he's a great actor, the young kid who I've never seen in anything else playing Samuel, I believe it is the one she's messing around with. Uh, he does a great job with what he's doing. It stretches believability because there's no way a 24-year-old kid would know all this stuff, how to deal with women. And if he's this good looking and this young, there's no way that he knows to do the daddy dom stuff to an older woman. There's no way. Not unless he was some protege of somebody else and they like established that. Guys don't learn that for the longest time.
Yeah.
That you have to treat women like shit and dominate them in order to keep them happy. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's all we can say about the plot, dude. I guess you want to rate it now because I mean that's it. You know, I don't want to
I'll
drag
give
it
it.
out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit. What did we establish was above bottom shelf?
Well, so we have bottom, obviously middle shelf, and then we have top shelf. You know, because you
Yeah,
worked in bars. I mean, there's middle, bottom. So I mean, whatever tier you want to give
and then
this film.
yeah, I'll give it slightly above bottom shelf and give it middle shelf. It's definitely not
Okay.
something I would watch again, but I like
Yeah.
what they were going for with it, and it's a good concept.
Mhm.
Everybody acted really well, and I'm not one of those people that can say the film looked good, the acting was good, the plot was interesting, but I'm not going to recommend it. How could I say that? I can't say that,
Hmm.
with a good conscience.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things. I think it's going to wind up doing very well.
Uh,
I think a lot of chicks are going to be into this movie.
so Nick
It's not
says,
a recommend. It's not. It's a recommend if you have a girlfriend and you want to bring your girlfriend and maybe get her to do butt stuff later.
yeah,
That's the kind of recommend that I can give this. If you want to get her a little squishy and get her to do some stuff and maybe try some daddy dom
yeah,
baby girl stuff out on her,
mm,
then yeah, I would definitely say if you're just a regular like we did this because we're movie reviewers, but
mm,
like it was definitely awkward sitting in this theater with a bunch of middle-aged women who were basically creaming in their fucking seats.
yeah.
The theater I was in was packed. So
Surprised me. Yeah, for me, like I would say, 'cause I caught a showing like 4 o'clock on a on New Year's Eve, and it was about half. My theater was over half packed too. So
Yeah. Yeah, they have a lot of kids stuff going on, and then strangely enough, they have like, stuff that's, sexually erotic like this and Nosferatu out at the same time. So it's kind of
yeah.
a weird
I mean, to
juxtaposition.
compare us to say 50 Shades of Grey, this is better acting, a lot better.
Oh yeah, yeah. Way better acting.
Yeah.
Way better acting.
No, and like you're saying, no, I'm gonna agree with you on that one where I'd say like this is like it's not pure middle, but it's just okay. It's like I was finding the characters and damn sure the performances enough to keep me invested. And people could say, we know the stuff she's doing isn't realistic. I mean, come on, guys, it's 2025 now. The way she acts is normal. I mean, at one point she even says like I'm not normal. Like I did like when she was breaking down to Antonio Banderas, like and he's like, no, you're not normal, but like I want to be normal, but like no, she's fucking crazy and she's never satisfied. This happens all the time, but it has a good performances all around. I mean, I was curious where the plot was going. You know, would she get fired? Again, was her husband going to kill the boyfriend? And at the end of the day, it's just no. They made up their marriage. They made up, and the fling moved on. And it was said, like you said, it's a good one time watch. Would I pay for it? Fuck no, I wouldn't pay for this. I would tell people wait for HBO Max or something. I mean, do you think this is worth like a full price ticket for you?
I don't know. I didn't pay for it, so.
Well, as I'm saying, like anybody watching, like I wouldn't say go out like you said,
No,
unless you got a horny
not
girlfriend.
if you're unless you got a horny girlfriend and you're trying to get it in. That's maybe the only way I could, or maybe she lets you go watch like the full unedited version of Lord of the Rings or something, and now you kind of have to make it up to her a little bit.
So butt stuff recommend. That's a new little bar.
Yeah. That's trademarked by me. So yeah. I can't steal that. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick's no, you and our Richard, anybody else watching us. It's like, it's for you guys, we're not the target audience, but I liked her performance enough, and she's definitely she's showing her age, but it's just an okay film. I'm not gonna buy it. I would not watch it again, but just it's not something it was okay, man. There's definitely way worse films I've seen this year, and it was all right.
It kept me interested enough to like watch the whole film.
Yeah, so, I would agree.
Whatever that's worth, because I was interested to see where the story was going. I like watching awful people do awful stuff. So
if you want to convince a girlfriend to do butt stuff, make her pay for this movie too. That's pretty much, yeah.
Definitely. And when you grab her by her throat and be like, pay for this fucking movie. That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. All right. No, thanks, dude. This is our, we hadn't done a little bar for a while, and said I always like that Yumi picked the most random, weird fucking movies.
Weird picks. Yeah. We started off January with Anyone But You, and we're ending 2024 with Babygirl. Isn't that fascinating?
I mean, I would say the two of them, if you want to, come on, Sydney Sweeney versus Nicole Kidman. Like,
oh, Jesus. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Yeah. Forget about it. Yeah. Sydney Sweeney can make a career out of this.
Yeah,
this kind of stuff.
I saw you should have slide. Hey, Fandad. He popped them. Do you want me to show your book, Fandad?
I would love for you to show my book if you would be so kind.
There you go.
Be so kind. So there's my book, Slapdash. There's my real name, and it's doing okay. It's I've got the second one in the trilogy almost done, and I got the outline for the third one completely done, and it is available on Kindle, and it is available on big graphic paperback. There's RRTNZ's picture of him holding my novel, actually, right there.
Yeah.
If you are overseas, there's not much I can do for you. You're going to have to go through Amazon. But if you are here in the States and you would like a copy, hit me up.
Said, we just did Die Hard last week.
Yeah, we did.
Fuckers.
If you want me to send you a copy signed with a preview of the next book, and you go in my Patreon, that'll put you automatically in my Patreon, where the next book you will get an acknowledgement, and or I'll make a character out of your name if you do so suggest me to do that. And I will send you a signed copy. Just hit me up and I'll take care of it. And it'll be a little bit more expensive than what you would spend on Amazon, but not much. And you'll be supporting me in my endeavors, which I do appreciate. And like I said, the next book will be out by the end of February. Maybe I'll try to even a little bit sooner. And then there'll be one more after that. And then I'll be moving on doing other projects.
I didn't fan that, but Lord Toxic said he didn't. You weren't the. Did you
I
like
did
it?
see it. Yes, I did see Saturday Night. I put it in my. If you take a look at my video for the best of 2024, it
Yeah.
is in there, and
Yeah.
I have spoke about it in length on Lance's channel. I did like it very, very much. It's
Yeah.
definitely worth a watch if you are so inclined, especially if you are a Saturday Night Live early years fan.
Yeah, I just watched Jeremy Johns do his top 10. He put it there as well, and he liked it. So it's definitely making rounds. It's on my to do list. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all we can say. I think for next year, well, January. Will you would you have any interest in Den of Thieves Part 2?
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could definitely do that.
Hopefully, because I've been telling people my job, I'm kind of now on a semi-normal schedule, start planning stuff out. But for a couple months, I was like on third shift and second shift, and have Monday off, to have a Friday off, and
it's just stop with your lies, blue collar. It's because you got a girlfriend.
Wow,
no one believes your bullshit. I'm sure you were working more.
I guess I'm going back to being single for 2025.
Right? Yeah, you had a girlfriend, so you kicked your friends to the curb.
Yeah.
Right around the same time you got the girlfriend, we stopped doing Losers Lounge. You're not fooling anybody there, blue collar.
Yeah, I mean, I am curious, fan dad. No, I did like Den of Thieves. A part 2 I didn't think was necessary, but I'm curious. So that could be a next low bar. We'll see how that comes out.
Yeah, I'm interested enough to at least watch it.
So. Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Yeah, so I'm sorry if we rambled, because this film probably didn't. This film does not need an hour fuck review. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't. It probably didn't even 30 minutes that we gave it. So
yeah, we're trying to we're trying to fucking build those numbers.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Are you all set, man?
I'm all set, and thanks again for everybody that supported me with the book. Thank you, Blue Collar.
Nick's fan
Happy
dad.
New Year,
Nick's
fan dad.
Not to Nick's Happy New Year's already. He's already from the future. So
yeah, he's already in the future. Nick's is RRT and Zed. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for buying my book. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
No, trust me, all super chats, bro. Man, I endlessly appreciate them. And we'll be around. Don't worry. So all right, hit the end button. I think Nadia